Have you ever said yes, even though every cell in your body screamed no? You agreed to the extra shift, even though you were already drowning. You smiled through that dinner with people who silently drained you. You apologized for something that wasn't your fault. You silenced your own needs because someone else's comfort mattered more. And here's the devastating part. You did it automatically, without thinking, like a reflex you couldn't control. What if I told you that every time you abandon yourself to please someone else, you're not being kind, you're being obedient? Obedient to voices that aren't even yours anymore. Voices from childhood that taught you your worth depends on making others happy. Sigmund Freud would say, you're not choosing to please people, you're compelled to. Your unconscious is running an ancient program, and until you see it clearly, you'll keep sacrificing yourself on an altar built by other people's expectations. Today, we are going to dismantle that altar. We'll explore why people-pleasing isn't generosity, it's self-abandonment, and why the moment you stop performing for everyone else's approval is the moment your real healing begins. This isn't comfortable, but if you're exhausted from being everyone's emotional support system while your own needs go unmet, this might be exactly what you need to hear. Section 1. The Hidden Survival Strategy. Here's what nobody ever tells you about people-pleasing. It's not a personality trait. It's a survival strategy. You learned it early. Maybe you had a parent whose love felt conditional, warm when you were good, cold when you disappointed them. Maybe you grew up in chaos, and the only way to feel safe was to keep everyone calm, keep everyone happy. Maybe you were praised for being the easy one, helpful one, and punished, subtly or overtly, for having needs of your own. So you learned the rules. Be accommodating. Don't make waves. Don't ask for too much. Your job? Smooth things over. Anticipate what others need before they ask. Disappear your own discomfort so no one else has to feel uncomfortable. And it worked. For a while. But now you're an adult, and you're still playing by those childhood rules. You're still seeking approval from people who don't deserve it. You're still contorting yourself into shapes that don't fit. Still saying yes when you mean no. Apologizing when you've done nothing wrong. Carrying emotional labor that isn't yours to carry. Section 2. Freud's Map of the Mind. Why you obey. Freud understood this as few others did. He saw that we don't just inherit our parents' features. We inherit their voices, their judgments, their expectations. And these voices become internalized, embedded so deep in your psyche that you mistake them for your own thoughts. You think you're choosing to be helpful, but you're not choosing. You're obeying. And the price? You lose yourself, piece by piece, yes by yes, smile by smile, until one day you wake up and say, I don't even know who I am anymore, when no one's watching. Let's map it quickly. Id, the part of you that wants pleasure, freedom, give me what I need now. Superego, the internalized parent, the voice of morality and shame. You must be good. You must not upset others. Ego, the mediator, trying to satisfy the id and obey the superego while navigating real life. When you're a people pleaser, something shifts. Your superego is tyrannical, not just strict, sadistic. When it's shaped by harsh or conditional love, it becomes an internal prosecutor. Your needs are selfish. Your boundaries are cruel. Disappointing others is a moral failure. So you comply, not because you want to, because the alternative, the guilt, the shame, the feeling of being bad, is unbearable. Section 3. How this plays out in real life. These patterns aren't just abstract. They show up in your relationships, your work, your social media feed. Rachel. She's been with her boyfriend 3 years. He criticizes her cooking, her clothes, her friends. Each time he lashes out, she apologizes. She asks, "What did I do wrong?" She tries harder. Friends tell her, "Leave." She knows they're right, but the thought of disappointing him, of being seen as difficult or cold, terrifies her more than staying. So she stays, and she shrinks. Marcus works 60-hour weeks at a job that underpays and undervalues him. His boss dumps Friday afternoon projects on him. Marcus never says no, cancels plans, works weekends. He tells himself, "If I just prove myself a little more, things will change." They don't. Resentment grows. Compliance deepens. Saying no feels like betrayal, failure, proof he's not good enough. Sophia. She posts constantly on social media. Perfect meals, filtered face, curated life. Every post designed for maximum approval. She checks likes, deletes posts that don't perform. Each notification brings a spike of validation. When they stop, a crash of emptiness. She's exhausted but can't stop. Because if she stops performing, who is she? If no one's watching, does she even exist? Different people, same pattern. They're all trying to earn something. They think they don't inherently deserve the right to exist without justification. Section 4. The turning point. Making the unconscious conscious. Here's the breakthrough Freud offers. When you make the unconscious conscious, it begins to lose its power over you. You can't change what you can't see, but once you see it, once you recognize the pattern, name the voice, identify the childhood wound that's still running the show, the pattern begins to shrink. This is the whole foundation of psychoanalysis. The talking cure. Not because talking magically fixes you, but because speaking your truth out loud brings it from the dark unconscious into the light of awareness. And in that light, you get to choose. You get to ask, is this voice mine? Or is it someone else's voice that I've mistaken for my own? Here's a phrase to remember. The moment you stop defending your worth is the moment you start living from it. People pleasers are constantly defending, proving, justifying their right to exist, to have needs, to take up space. But you don't have to defend your worth. You never did. You only believed you did because someone taught you that love was conditional. It wasn't. And the people who made you believe it was, they were wrong. Here's another truth. Boundaries aren't walls, they're doors. They let the right people in and keep the wrong people out. When you start saying no, you'll lose people. That's inevitable. But the ones you lose, they were only there for what you could give anyway. The ones who stay, the ones who respect your boundaries, those are your people. And yes, I promise, you will feel guilt. The superego won't give up easily. It will scream, "You're selfish, you're failing, you're bad." But Freud would say that guilt isn't a sign you're doing something wrong. It's a sign you're doing something different. And different feels dangerous to the unconscious. So feel the guilt, notice it, name it, then do the thing anyway. Because on the other side of that guilt is freedom. Section 5. 5 concrete steps to start today. Let's get practical. Here are 5 things you can try today. 1. Notice your moments of almost. These are the moments when you almost said no, almost set a boundary, almost spoke your truth, but then you didn't. Start tracking these moments. Don't judge them, just notice them. Write them down, because awareness is the first step. 2. Practice the free association pause. Next time someone asks something of you, pause. Don't answer immediately. Close your eyes for 3 seconds and ask, what do I actually want to say right now? You don't have to say it out loud, not yet. But notice the gap between what you want to say and what you actually say. That gap is where your people-pleasing lives. 3. Use the boundary script. When you need to say no but don't know how, try this exact line. I appreciate you thinking of me, but I'm not available for that right now. No apology, no over-explanation, no softening. Just a clear, kind no. Practice it in the mirror until it feels less terrifying. 4. Tolerate the discomfort. Here's a micro-exposure exercise. Say no to something small, something low stakes. Decline an invitation you don't want. Skip a social obligation that drains you. Let an email sit unanswered for a few hours. Then notice the discomfort, the guilt, the anxiety that maybe they hate you now. Don't try to fix it. Just sit with it. Let it wash over you and watch it pass, because it will pass. 5. Ask yourself this daily question. Every evening before bed, ask, who did I perform for today and why? Name the person. Name the behavior. Name the fear underneath it. This simple practice of bringing the unconscious pattern into consciousness will, over time, weaken its hold. You can do this one sentence right now. Think of the last time you said yes when you wanted to say no. Who was it for? What were you afraid would happen if you'd been honest? Write it down. Just one sentence. That sentence is the beginning of your healing. I need you to hear this. Healing isn't fast, and it isn't linear. You're going to slip. You're going to fall back into old patterns. You're going to say yes when you mean no. Apologize when you've done nothing wrong. Abandon yourself again. That's normal. That's human. That's part of the process. Because you're not just changing a behavior. You're rewiring neural pathways that have been firing the same way for decades. You're challenging voices that have lived in your head since childhood. You're dismantling a survival strategy that once kept you safe. Of course it's hard. But here's the truth Freud offers. You are not doomed to repeat the past, but you must first see it for what it is. And once you see it, once you truly see that the voice demanding you please everyone isn't your voice, that the guilt is manufactured, that your worth was never conditional, then you get to choose differently. Not perfectly, not all at once, but progressively, slowly, with more awareness each time. And that's enough. That's more than enough. Because every time you choose yourself, you're sending a message to your unconscious. I matter. My needs matter. I am allowed to exist without performing. And guess what? The unconscious is listening. So here's what I want you to do right now. Go to the comments and answer this question in one sentence. What's one childhood message you still obey? Maybe it's, don't be selfish. Maybe it's, keep the peace. Maybe it's your feelings don't matter. Whatever it is, name it. Type it out. Because naming it takes away some of its power. And while you're thinking about that, consider this. You've spent your whole life pleasing others, accommodating, performing, saying yes when you mean no. But what about the desires you've buried in the process? The wants you've denied, the parts of yourself you've repressed because they didn't fit the good person script. Here's what Freud understood. When you deny desire, you don't kill it. You just let it control you from the shadows. That's what we'll explore next. When you deny desire, it controls you. We're going to talk about what happens to the desires you repress, how they return in destructive forms, and why acknowledging what you want, even if it scares you, is the only path to real freedom. You won't want to miss this one. Until then, remember, the moment you stop pleasing everyone is the moment you start becoming yourself. I'll see you in the next video.